This lesson is on note-taking, the hows and the whys of helping yourself be the best student you can be. Basically, y'all need to learn how to take notes, and you need to learn to love it. Here are your lesson objectives. Remember to pause and write these down. Lesson objectives are good ways of focusing your notes. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to define what I mean by taking notes. You'll be able to list and explain the 3 reasons you should take notes, and you'll be able to list the quality of good notes. You will also be able to list 2 ways you could take notes and explain how to use these methods. Finally, you will be able to explain how you use your notes after class. You should write your cue words down. Again, they help you focus your notes. Cue words for today are notes, the what and the why, good note-taking, how to with 2 different models, being outline and Cornell method, and how to use your class notes. So notes, they're not these things that you guys write to each other when you think your teacher isn't looking. Instead, they're a record of the ideas that we've discussed in a class or lecture setting. And you should take notes because notes help you listen better in class. If you're focusing on what you need to write down from what I am saying, you're not focusing on what was talked about at lunch or what's going to happen in your television show or what you're getting your next snack. 2, it can help you with independent practice. It's something to refer back to when you get stuck on putting an idea into practice from theory. They also help you figure out what you need more help with. The ideas that you repeatedly have questions over are ideas that you need help with. And they help you study. 1, again, you have something to refer back to, and 2, you already kind of have a focus point for your study. So, these are important reasons on why you should take notes, and you should make sure they've been written down in your notes on this lesson. Hint, pause and write it down. Good note-taking requires a few different elements. First, your notes need to be organized. There needs to be a logical progression of the ideas that are in the lesson and how they relate to each other. We will talk about some of this when we talk about models on note-taking, but you do need to organize your notes or they're going to not make any sense and they won't be helpful to you. Your notes also need to be focused. You don't want to write down every single thing I have on the screen. In fact, when you write down every single thing word for word that somebody else says, it's plagiarism, and plagiarism is completely useless in your notes. Focus your notes on the main ideas of the lessons, and those are given to you ahead of time in your lesson objectives and your cue words. Make sure the big ideas and the important details about those are what make it into your notes. Also, make sure your notes contain all the important things. Start with your lesson objectives and your keywords or cue words because those help you focus and they give you an easy organization pattern. Make sure you include examples so that you have something to refer back to. And watch out for anything the teacher emphasizes. Like this, with the chevron pointing to the idea. Or the way I tell you to pause and write things down. Or, I might say something over and over again, like your notes have got to be organized, focused, and have all the important things. Pause and write this down, folks. Here's model number 1 on how to take notes. This is an outline method where you will use different levels of notes to group information by a category through the main ideal, subtopics, and details. The advantages to this method are that it's easy to identify your main points and it shows your relationships between content. It doesn't require speed or detail, so you can use it easily with a lecture. Outline notes is one of the 2 models you should know, so make sure you've gotten this information down. And here's an example of what an outline looks like. You of course start with your main topic, drop a line, indent, go to your subtopic, drop a line, indent, detail, 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 new topic goes back, so on and so forth. If you haven't already, pause and write your notes down. Model number 2 is the Cornell method. This method uses a graphic organizer to record notes by keywords. The advantages to this are that it's brief but well organized and to the point, and it helps with getting your information into your long-term memory. Again, this is model number 2, so you should be paying attention and getting this down to notes. And this would be what this would look like. You've got the graphic organizer with your keywords, your note box, your summary, and all of that. If you haven't already, pause and write this down. Now, how do you use your notes? Notes are there to help us study. So to do this effectively, you need to spend a little bit of time every night with your notes. About 10 minutes tops should do it. Go over your notes, try and piece the ideas together, and write down any questions that come up. Update your notes as you learn more new information. So you wrote your notes during the lesson about the content. You'll want to write more when you learn that in class. Add notes to your strengths, weaknesses, questions, etc. And last but not least, you need to organize your notes by topic to try and see how the concepts connect. You'll ask yourself questions, you'll write down new questions for class, and you can study for a test by reviewing all of your notes from a unit for about 30 minutes each night, every day, the entire week before a test. This all rows together. 10 minutes every night that you review your notes, period. Then you update your notes as you get new information between the lesson and what we practice. You organize your notes topics, you ask yourselves questions, you write down new questions, and then you study by taking all of those notes together and spending half an hour every night before the test. That would replace your 10-minute review. You should pause and write this down because this is how you use your notes out of class. Notes are a way to help keep our memory clear on what we're learning. They also help us study smarter instead of harder. So you should make sure to hone up your note-taking game here and get good. Your assignment for today is to complete the note-taking practice assignment on Go Formative. This video lesson is embedded in it, so you don't even have to go looking. Don't forget that this is the part that I grade for our homework.